So I normally pay for weekly unlimited ride for $34. And today they went and deducted 160 from my card instead of without my permission. So I didn't have enough money to pay for another weekly ride. I had to pay for paper ride. So they're deducting money and leaving my account in overdraft. They're not supposed to be seizing my money and issuing an overdraft on my account without my permission. So they charge me for paper ride when I normally pay for 1 week ride. And I guess the 1 week ride expired, they didn't inform me, and they went and took me away. These are the ways they are abusing me, my minority. So the train is moving empty, the homeless are normally riding the train. But they're locking homeless inside board. And these are regarded as I criticize them, and as associates are getting locked up. They're delegating their police. They're all over 53rd Street, searching the train. They're searching for me and things like that to abuse. They said Ingrid, Eric Adams' associate, has been arrested again. Caribbean American. I don't know why. This Eric Adams is arrested. Only arrested Caribbean American. They all seem to be cahoots, associates of them. So I don't know what Alvin Bragg is doing. I've already sent email to Alvin Bragg that this Eric Adams is a threat. Even though Trump dismissed his federal charges, Alvin Bragg, a Black American prosecutor, should have filed state charges also. So a lot of the trains are running empty. A lot of those homeless are riding, they're arresting us, putting us in psych ward. Like my mother's daughter killed my mother, framed up was crazy. So anytime I criticize this Eric Adams, a Black American, he puts police on the train to be harassing me. They don't let me sleep at night. So it's like he's having his revenge against Africans. This is some Black Americans don't like Africans because of slavery. And this is like a genocide. They said he's also sending his police to go and beat up Africans selling bags on Canal Street. Even made statement to expose himself. A lot of statements been making. Under the Biden administration, a few years ago, the Spanish people were coming in, and this Eric Adams said welcomes them. Then when Africans started coming also, migrants, he said, you can't tolerate the Africans coming in. And he made a statement, said it was okay with the Spanish people coming in, but now people are coming from Africa, you can't tolerate it. And said, the migrants crisis will now ruin New York's economy. So he's showing his disdain for Africans, and I saw him in Manhattan also ask if he could help me. He wouldn't help me either. And he's been lying to the press. He always helps people that are homeless. He's been helping many Black Americans, put them in a hotel room. And they refused to put me in a standard hotel room, even though my home was taken wrongfully by the NYPD, and Eric Garner was trying to help me with the court papers to get me back in my home. And the police when I told him that. So I have diarrhea, and I need a standard hotel room, which has a kitchen and toilet. They're supposed to cater to my disability under the Americans with Disability Act, and they're refusing to do that. So they deny me shelter services, proper shelter services, and keep me stuck. So they're setting me up for the police to kill me. And so they're locking up homeless in the psych ward wrongfully. They did it to me since 2019, and this Eric Adams was boasting about it. So, after they locked me up in psych ward, this Eric Adams, a few weeks later when I made a speech, they locked me up on July 23rd, 2019. Stole my green card, beat me, choked me. Then this Eric Adams when I made the speech on January 20, 2020, a few weeks later, saying, you outsiders are not going to be welcome in New York. Go back to Ohio. I used to make statements around that time that Ohio welcomes immigrants, and Nigeria became mayor there in a town in Ohio. And I said in Iowa they allowed driver's license for undocumented immigrants. After the police choked me, this Eric Adams was the borough president of Brooklyn at that time. And he had the power to help me investigate what happened to me. They said, people recorded as I was being choked. They said the video was played viral on the internet. So this Eric Adams found out about it, and decided to make fun of me. And he calls himself a civil rights activist for Black Americans, but wouldn't help an African like me. And he's been the mayor, then he issued an order that he should pay medical bills for those owing medical bills, whether we want it or not. So it's trying to cover up the crime. They locked me up in NYU Psychiatric Hospital, and they told me to sign up for Medicaid. I told them no. That it's a fraudulent malpractice to lock me up in a psych ward. I'm misdiagnosed as crazy, even though I'm not crazy. you know, so they've been trying to cover up evidence, and these are the kind of ones I'm paid. My hospital bill behind my back, which he needs to be arrested for. He issued an order that should pay every hospital bill anybody owes in New York State, New York City. This is good.